Well, me and JJB got out of Chicago and got up here just outside of Green Bay. How you like it up here? Hmm? Nice and sunny. Nice and sunny. You old pretty girl. You old pretty thing. You're my good girl. Anyway, so we got to a place called Green Bay Packing. It's not actually in Green Bay. I forgot the name of the little town. It's just outside of Green Bay, a couple miles. But they're loading us up with empty ice cream boxes going back to the ice cream factory in Lamar's. And I wanted to say something. So last week was a horrible week, right? I was griping and complaining the whole time because I got stuck on a load. It took 3 days they kept restacking it and it kept getting denied by HEB. And I was so angry and just down and frustrated because if I ain't moving, I'm not making no money, right? Well, turns out that's not necessarily true. So they gave me a couple $100 a day. Couple $100 a day for being laid over on that load. Plus all the extra stops back and forth, and plus the mileage to take it back up to Lamar's or Storm Lake, Iowa, plus the mileage to get over there in the first place. So I came out on top. I mean, I cleared 1,300, so not too bad for a crappy week. But yeah, I just get frustrated, and sometimes I say things I don't mean. I gotta learn patience. So, but yeah, I never say anything bad about the company. I mean, they've been good to me. I love Schuster. If you want to drive and you got, I think it's at least 6 months experience, it's still the best over-the-road company I've ever worked for or known about. But yeah, so it turned out all right. We're going to get this loaded up. We're going to cook dinner in a little bit. I got like by the time they get me loaded, I'll probably have about 2 hours to drive, hour and a half, legally. Get on down the road a little bit. So I'm going to do something simple. I think I'm going to do a Frito pie tonight. I feel like a Frito pie. Get old Fritos and chili and cheese. I think I got some onion left, so that's what we're going to do. But I just wanted to say, just keep plugging forward. Things work out for you in the end, normally. So, alright guys, see you later. Well, they got me loaded, but I only have an hour left to drive. And I'm pretty sure that puts me in the middle of nowhere. So I found a spot across the street from a Walmart. There's an empty parking lot here. So I'm gonna lock my trailer up. Not that there's anything in here. It's ice cream boxes that they're gonna put the box of ice cream up there. But I don't want to deal with a broken seal for somebody to find out it's just cardboard. So we got that locked up. I've been dealing with a problem in my right ear. Can hardly hear out of it. It's clogged up. I know I normally wear my headset on that side for years. And it just got worse and worse over the last couple weeks. So I need to go purchase something, some kind of ear cleaner or rinse or something. I know what it is. It's gum wax buildup from being behind that cushion all the time. And I've always had problems with my ears. When I was young, I probably should have had tubes put in. I had ear infections and earaches and stuff all the time. My ears drained bad, and wearing that headset, I think, has affected it. So now I'm wearing a headset on this side. But then what happens when that side clogs up? Then I can't hear nothing. So, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to go into this Walmart after I log a post-trip inspection and locate something in the pharmacy area that I can use for that ear. Somebody told me about that I should use it's like a candle, ear candle thing you light, and it's supposed to draw all that out. And we did use those, I think, probably 20 years ago, maybe on one of the kids or something, and I can't recall if it worked or not. And then there's other kind of rinses. Some people put peroxide in their ear. I'm gonna look and see. I'm gonna look and see what my options are. But yeah, I'm parked at. It's a big church, like a shopping center style, and it doesn't say no semis. And I'm pretty sure that unless they're like 7-day Adventist, they're not having service tomorrow. Plus, I'll be out of here pretty early. What time is it now? Yeah, I'll be out of here in 10 hours. So I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna go over there, and I think I'm gonna get me a couple jalapenos too, because I want to put some of that on my frito pie. You gonna be okay if I go shopping? You gonna be okay? I would take you with me, but you ain't well mannered. You ain't well mannered. You be trying to love on everybody, take a dump in the middle of the pharmacy floor. I know you. I know you. You'll be alright. You can go back there, get a drink of water, and then get up on her bed. Yep. I know her. Alright guys, we're going to cook dinner here in a little bit. Well, microwave some chili and pour it over some Fritos with some cheese and jalapenos, but it'll be dinner. Alright. Well folks, it's dinner time. You don't get much simpler than that. I got my Fritos, and yep, that's the big ones, the scoops. Pile of onion. Got my chicken chili warming up. That's the Southgate chicken chili with beans. I'll top that with some cheese and some fresh chives. So I went to Walmart, looking in the ear wax cleaning section. I did find the candles. I got the good ones, the beeswax candles. That's gonna be step number 2 if step number 1 don't work. Step number 1, I got the all-in-one kit. So it's got the drops you put down in your ears, and then the rinse, and a little suction cup, all kind of stuff. Gotta get that ear cleaned out, man. That's bothering me. It don't hurt or nothing. 2 ear stories. First one was mine. So when I was like 16, I got a job at a telemarketing facility. And on the phone, because there's 40 operators in the same room, I say operators, 40 young kids in the same room trying to sell stickers for the police. And here's the trick. Don't give money to nobody that calls you about that stuff. I was young and stupid, right? So I call you and say, hey, this is Jason Day with the Texas Conference of Police and Sheriffs. How you doing this evening? I had a whole spiel on getting you to donate money to the families of injured and fallen police officers. I didn't know that what I was doing was scamming people. So I didn't find out till later, way after I quit. But technically, you only have to give like a charity. You only have to give 10% of whatever you collect. So 10 cents on the dollar. So people was giving like $100, you know, and we'd send them out a little decal for their car. TCOPS, Texas Conference of Police and Sheriffs, to put on their car. We, you know, well, if you'll up that donation to $125, I'll send you out 2 such stickers. That way you can put them on your car too and let the officers know. And put one on your house, you know. Just dumb. Anyway, back to the ear. So because there's so many operators in that room, so many people scamming people, you put a earpiece in your ear. It basically it looked like an earplug with a clear curly cue that went to the phone. Anyway, I had that in my ear, but you'd still sometimes noise would filter in, so you would wrap that thing with a piece of paper towel. Like you tear off an 8-inch piece of paper towel about 3/4 inch thick, you wrap it around it, so when you put it in there, it was really tight in there. Block that sound out. So I'm there and I pull it out to go to the restroom. Come back, stick it back in. Well, unbeknownst to me, when I pulled it out, the paper towel stayed there. I put it back in. I worked the rest of the night, and then had the weekend off. Well, by Monday, my ear was hurting so bad. By Wednesday, the whole side of my head right here was swollen. I could feel it. You could push on it. It just hurt. And went to the doctor. He's like, "Hey, you got a foreign object in there." And I'm like, "Foreign? What, Chinese, Russian? Who did this to me?" He said, "No, you got something in there that ain't supposed to be there." He reaches in there with some tongue thing and pulls out this big 12-inch long piece of paper towel. Instant relief, buddy. And that's what it was. The second story, my wife may not want me to tell, but it is what it is. So we buy our first house. We've been renting apartments or whatnot. We buy our first house. It's an old house built in 1929. We loved that place. She loved it. I regret selling it, but I did. Anyway, back to where I digress. We had exterminated. Well, it comes as no surprise why they call earwigs. If you don't know what they are, it's like a little beetle animal, kind of long, got little pinchers on the end of its tail. They like dark holes, like your ear. Well, my wife in the middle of the night gets up and says, "Something in my ear." She's diabetic. I'm thinking, there's nothing in your ear. Sure, have you checked your sugar? Of course, that makes her mad. There's something in my ear. I'm looking. I see nothing. She waits a minute. Well, then, no, it wasn't an earwig. It was a popping beetle. One of them little slender little beetles that pop. You know, you press down, you feel them. So this thing starts popping in her ear. She is screaming. I get her to the emergency room. On the way there, I mean, she was kicking the floorboard and screaming. Get in there, and this whole time, I'm thinking her sugar's low, right? They do her test. Her sugar's not low. Doctor looks in there and something. Yeah, he sees it. He puts some Novocaine off in there, and that thing comes running up out of there. I squished it on the floor. I felt horrible. For about a year, she made the kids sleep with earplugs. Never happened again, thank God. But yeah, so I'm going to eat this dinner, and then I'm going to get my ear cleaned out, because it's not hurting or anything, but it's just annoying. I can't. It's bothering me. Right there, got my chips. I'll put on some of that chicken chili. Got it nice and hot. while that's nice and hot, I'm gonna put some shredded cheese on there. Some onions. Get these chives open. Put some fresh chives on there. And over at the Walmarts, pick me up some jalapenos. Some jalapenos. That's that. Also over there, not for this meal, but I was out of pickles, so I don't know if anybody else likes bread and butter, but I like bread and butter. I like bread and butter. And every now and then in the middle of the night, I gotta take a sip of pickle juice because I'll get a calf cramp or something. And you know the science behind that? It has nothing to do with it being pickle juice or anything. It's the vinegar tricks your brain, and your brain releases a chemical that goes to your nerves and tells them to calm down. Did you know that? So technically you can do the same thing with pickle juice, olive juice, a teaspoon of mustard. Yeah, it's the vinegar tricks your brain into releasing that endorphin or whatever it is, the chemical, sends that signal to your nerves, tells them to calm down. So that's that. Something else I was going to mention. Kind of flattering, but also kind of weird. I don't want to say I got followers just because they follow me or whatever, TikTok, Facebook. I don't want to say I got fans because then I sound like somebody who wants fans. But so I get a couple messages a day. I got one today. Hey, you over here on 75? All right, now I'm up in Green Bay, buddy. Oh, thought I seen you, man, at the truck stop. I was gonna say hello and say keep on trucking. Doing a good job. You know. Okay. Keep on trucking, buddy. That's what I'm doing. But anyway, I digress. That's dinner. Deluxe Frito pie. All that's left to do is say, Lord, thank you for this food and bless it to my body, and thank you for this day. Thank you for keeping me and old Juju be safe out here on the road as we keep it rolling. Thank you for being with my family back at home and being with my wife, Mindy, in her medical needs, Lord. I know everything's in your hands, and we will come out on the other end of this better than when we went in. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, guys, we're going to eat this dinner. Let me take a nibble of it for you, and I'll let you know. That's American right there. That's like a hot dog or hamburger, man. Love it. All right, guys. Well, God bless you and have a good night. We headed to Iowa in the morning.